Dude, he's so big now. Have you seen him? You seen the most recent photos? He put some photos on Instagram of him training, and he took pictures of him with his shirt off. And you're like, what? Jesus Christ. He looks like he's about 250 now, something like that. And he's a big giant dude. He's always been a big giant dude, but he's like super muscled out now. That dude's gigantic now.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
terrifying.
That's gigantic. He's so much bigger than he was when he first started. When he first started kickboxing, he was this long, tall, thin guy. Because he started, like some of his early fights that I've seen during the K1 days even, he was way skinnier.
Start your day with a big obstacle, and you conquered it. An amazing recovery tool, as well mentally as it is physically.
As Rico Verhoeven prepares for Alexander Usyk, Joe Rogan is stunned by his sheer size and the power of his giant physique.
It's a sea of killers. Rico Verhoeven, the guy who's the champ right now.
He's the man.
Oh, he's an animal. He's an animal.
Remember that guy? He beat that guy with...
With Mike Tyson on his side, Rico is training like a man at war, fully locked in and ready to shock everyone when he steps into the ring with Usyk.
Kill or be killed. That guy is just die on his shield. Reckless. Yeah. He's wired different. Yeah, he comes for blood. And the thing is, what you were saying, Mike, people love you when you do your best, and that's why they love him. Like they know that guy's ready to go out on his shield. He's no quit. He's going out on his shield. He goes to war, and sometimes they get him, and sometimes he gets them. And he used to get them a lot more when he was younger, but that's just
nature of the beast.
For his part, Rico looks fully prepared, insisting that taking on Usyk is a real challenge, and he is not backing down from it.
It's like, why not accept the challenge? It is, like you said, he's considered arguably like one of the best boxers to ever do it. So what an honor and what an opportunity I have. I've conquered everything within the sport of kickboxing, and now getting the opportunity to do it within the sport of boxing, I love it. Like never.
Ahead of him is the challenge of proving his dominance against one of the greatest boxers of this era. Rico is training hard to sharpen his boxing skills. The hand speed looks brutal, showing how Rico is gearing up to shock the world on May 23rd at the Pyramids of Giza. With a fully ripped physique, Rico is firing faster hands on the bags, showing he is improving day by day. But none of it seems to faze Usyk, who is pushing harder and insisting there is no pressure he feels against a giant like Rico.
Well, not pressure, because I just work. Listen, maybe a lot of people say you feel pressure. No, I just work. For me, I do it what I do, what I can, what I do. Now, no.
Greedy Belly, he fought on Saturday.
Yeah.
Is that still a fight you want, Greedy Belly?
Yes.
Rico is pushing his training to another level, while Joe Rogan calls him a beast and a killer for the way he looks and moves. But Shane McGuigan is not convinced at all, saying Rico Verhoeven stands no real chance against Alexander Usyk. He insists there are levels in this game and Usyk, as the master of boxing, would not struggle at all. In fact, he gives Rico zero chances in a fight with Usyk, believing the gap in pure boxing skill is simply too wide to overcome.
There's levels to this game. As a kickboxer, he's always going to be up against the guy who's a master at boxing. I don't think he...
On the other hand, David Allen reveals he sparred Rico back in 2014 and came away believing Rico can actually box with solid skills and real ability in the ring. That alone gives a different angle on Rico's chances against Usyk. But Allen also admits something that feels strange to him. Rico is now pushing for a title-sanctioned fight without holding any rankings or belts, which raises questions about how this matchup is even being positioned.
He's a good boxer. I sparred Rico years ago, and he can box. I sparred in 2014, and he can box. But we had one pro fight, I think, at a lower level and won it. Possibly, I don't know much about kickboxing. I'm told he's one of the best kickboxers in history. Great. But how this can get sanctioned for a world heavyweight, a genuine bona fide heavyweight championship belt, I'm not sure. What about the top 15 rankings? What about mandatories? What about... Yeah, I don't...
Explaining his stance, Allen believes Rico should not be handed a title shot at this stage, but from his personal experience sparring him, he knows Rico can actually fight and has real spirit. The concern for him is the level of opposition, stepping in against the greatest heavyweight of all time. He also doubts Rico would be able to go the full 12 rounds, suggesting the job might get finished much earlier in the fight.
And he's a very big man, great athlete, strong, and he has very, very good boxing. And if I would have fought Rico, I'd fancy getting the job done in a real fight because of the experience in boxing. But he can fight, he definitely can fight. You know, around British title level, he'd give anyone a scrap. He's a good fighter. But he's fighting possibly one of the best heavyweights of all time. And he's a very big man. He's tough. Will he last 12?
Adding his thoughts, Max Kellerman points out that history has seen fighters transition from kickboxing into boxing with surprising success, suggesting Rico's move against Usyk should not be written off completely. He mentions Vitaly Klitschko, who began in kickboxing before becoming a world champion in boxing and later the mayor of Kiev, proving adaptability at the highest level. He also brings up Dillian Whyte and his kickboxing roots, arguing that under the right circumstances, what looks impossible can sometimes become reality.
I'm interested. There's a long history of fighters who started in kickboxing and went on to have a lot of success in boxing. Let me give you a few names. How about Vitaly Klitschko?
Kick my ass.
Vitaly Klitschko is, by the way, Vitaly Klitschko was never behind at the end of every professional fight he ever had. He was always up on every scorecard. Think about that for a second.
Lennox Lewis, yeah.
He got stopped on cuts against Lennox. He was up on the cards. He had to stop against Bird. He threw out his shoulder. He was up on the cards. He was never down on the cards at the end of any fight. Kickboxer. Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte started in kickboxing. Jarrell Miller, big baby, started in kickboxing.
He probably was here for a year or two.
Got the hair kicked off his head, apparently.
He was a good kickboxer.
And the list does not stop there. Chris Algieri, who once faced Manny Pacquiao and later became a broadcaster, also came from kickboxing. Caleb Plant shares a similar background, adding more weight to the argument. Max Kellerman believes Rico could still shock people, but he stresses that if Usyk shows full focus, there is very little chance for an upset. He also notes that even legends like Floyd Mayweather, Mike Tyson, and Tyson Fury have sometimes entered fights less sharp, and Rico's massive size difference only makes the outcome even harder to predict.
Chris Algieri, who is a good fighter, by the way, fought with Manny Pacquiao, hell of a broadcaster now. Chris Algieri, kickboxer. Caleb Plant, Troy Dorsey, kickboxer. Remember Troy Dorsey and Kevin Kelly had an incredible fight. Yeah. There are lots of kickboxers who've made the transition. And look, I'm not trying to hype it up.
Yeah, yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Yes, you are. If Usyk takes this fight seriously, Verhoeven has no shot. I'm telling you, there's no way he's going to be if he takes the fight seriously. But we have seen boxers like Floyd Mayweather and Tyson Fury not be prepared for the fight. This guy is 270 pounds.
He's not that guy, though.
If you, man,
and he already has a professional fight.
I will come drop kick you. Stop this. We know how it's going to go. If they train or don't train, Usyk's going to win.
Yes, if he trains or doesn't train, Usyk's going to win.
Yeah.
But if
At the same time, Max Kellerman points out a key mistake Rico could fall into, warning that relying on kickboxing habits and standard combinations would not trouble Usyk at all. He explains that against a master-level boxer like Usyk, those patterns become easy to read and counter. Kellerman adds that Usyk's timing, defense, and ring control would shut it down quickly, meaning Rico would need a complete shift toward pure boxing fundamentals to stand any real chance.
Obviously, we know that Usyk is going to win as long as everything goes according to plan.
Right.
But I give Rico this.
kickboxing is not UFC or wrestling. He's not doing different stances. It's not like he's an expert at wrestling. He's an expert at stand-up fighting.
Yeah, but when I say 52 hand blocks, I say that for a reason. He uses a kind of hand blocking style which will work, but not against a highly trained professional boxer.
Hey, Zab Gina used it to pretty good effect in a lot of fights.
By the way, I've never seen Yoel do it, but I'll bet you Yoel got 52 hand blocks.
Zab's for real.
But like he's going to need he needs 104 hand.
Even the former kickboxers are not holding back from completely ruling Rico out against Usyk. Across the boxing world, many professionals are shaking their heads at the matchup. They believe Rico may rule kickboxing, but stepping into a boxing ring with Usyk changes everything, leaving him with no real path to victory. Chris Algieri adds that Usyk already shuts down most of Rico's strengths just through pure boxing skill, and even a clear size advantage would not be enough to shift the balance.
Verhoeven have any shot to beat Alexander Usyk in this fight?
No. If it was Anthony Joshua, I would be like, yeah, maybe. Usyk, no, he doesn't get hit. And you're taking away some of his main weapons. It's kickboxing. You're taking away half of his weapons. So and he's not a big puncher. Yes, he's a big guy. He's a very big guy. He's tall. He's big. He's heavy. He's gonna have the size advantage for sure on Usyk. He's super tough and scrappy and tricky. All of that. But it's Alexander Usyk. If it was anybody else, I would be like, yeah, there's a shot. It's heavyweights. Anything can happen. One punch is one punch.
The sense of doubt grew stronger when the analyst reacted strongly after Rico Verhoeven made a chilling promise to knock Usyk's head clean off, speaking with the confidence of a man who has spent over a decade finishing opponents early. The statement sparked debate across the boxing world, with many questioning the tone and timing of such bold words. Still, it showed Rico's mindset is fully locked in, carrying the belief that he can end the fight in brutal fashion if the chance appears.
Sure, as little detail as you're going to. From the first bell, what are you going to do?
Knock his head off. That's what I'm going to do. I'm, like you said, I'm like 55 pounds heavier. Yeah. So as soon as I hit him, it's going to be something different.
You're going to knock his head off?
Of course.
I think he's only been knocked down once. He's never been knocked, and that was a low blow. He's never been knocked down. You're going to have to go some, Rico.
Oh, what an opportunity I have here. I'm going to shock the world in front of the pyramids in this crazy scene. It's like, oh my God, I love it. That's why I'm